Hello, everyone, and welcome to Kick the Cool. You've done it. You found it. In a giant sea of cool podcasts that are out there, you found the one that kicks the cool to the curb every single time we step on the field. I am your big little brother, Tone.
I'm your little brother, Wopsle.
I'm America's big sister, Shishi.
And this is the podcast that gives you the reviews you didn't know you needed. What's up, guys? Let's talk about something.
I would like to talk about, are there curbs on a field when we step on a field and we kick the cool to the curb?
A lot of people aren't familiar with this kind of field.
The ones with curbs?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, just specifically
also,
kicking.
I was going to suggest, should we actually change the whole branding to we kick the cool through the uprights? Would that kind of help understand what we're trying to do?
How about change the name of the podcast to Punt the Cool?
Punt the Cool.
How about that?
Yeah. And then also, what's great is a lot of people don't know this. We actually have a field that we step onto. And then the great thing about it, it does have curbs around it, and there's a sea right beside it. So there's a giant sea. There's a field, some curbs, and then we practice kicking field goals. And I think Shishi is in the lead right now.
Yeah, of course.
Which is no surprise, but
I mean, I was nothing in senior year. I was a late bloomer, and now I'm really good at kicking things. So
best kicker.
The band Tony, which I always felt a little bit of an obligation to love this band, obviously.
Yeah.
The band Tony once said, if the shoe fits, I want you to wear it and wear it good. And I think that applies to this case.
Did they really?
Yeah, they really said that.
In a song or just an interview?
In a song, in a song called No Loot. They, just in an interview.
You know way more about that band than I expected you
Than
to.
anyone. Yeah, than anyone, actually. Well, if there was a band called Sherry, I think they...
Well, I guess that is true because Steve Perry has a song called Oh Sherry, and I have to like it more than I normally probably would because it's my name. Yes.
I always did too because that's my sister. Oh, Sherry.
Shut up.
Here's some walkie-talkies. Walkie-talkies.
I have no idea which parts are sincere and which parts you're making up to be funny. It all could be legit, and I don't know.
This is episode 18, everyone. And, you know, if you've stuck with us and been there through all 17 so far, we thank you so much. And if you're just starting, this is a great place to start, man. We're going to do some reviews today is what we do. And we're going to help as many people as possible. We took a solemn vow to help as many people as we can. To start us off, Wopsle, what are you going to review today?
You know, I think after last week's reviews were just so helpful for people. I really thought, let's continue this 17 episode trend. Now let's start 18 with helping people the most with reviewing some SCs. Also known as shortcuts, but you see, I shortened it just to SCs. Because there's one thing when...
Is the point of this going to be pointless shortcuts? Is that what you're reviewing today?
Just whatever shortcuts are, because shortcuts have proven time and time again that they really speed things up, Very rarely do you have to stop and explain the shortcuts. Okay, every time you usually have to stop and explain the shortcut. No, it's all shortcuts. It's, it's when you're driving shortcuts, it's verbal shortcuts, it's keystroke shortcuts. I feel like shortcuts are a pretty important thing in our world right now. So, Shishi, what do you kind of think of when you go with shortcuts?
A recent shortcut that the BLB, Tony and I made was instead of typing out cool, we just shortened it to CCC. And so now that's what we type to each other instead of cool, because that's a lot of letters for just an offhand thing. So, yes. Yeah.
And that's a great point. Like, think about how much time we have saved with that shortcut.
So many hours.
Right.
Hours.
Yeah, we've got so much
Tendinitis
time
from
back.
typing. Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Just from that one shortcut. Yes.
Yeah, from that one
Great
shortcut,
example.
I have added 10 years onto my fingers. The rest of me, no, but my fingers are going to last 10 years longer than me now.
You'll be typing from the grave. You'll be still.
You'll be able to claw your way out with those fingers.
Oh, it's going to be great. One day I'm going to be gone. You're going to get a text that says CCC, and you're going to be like, whoa.
I swear to God, if you do that to me, I will never speak to your ghost again.
If I do end up haunting you guys.
Okay. Get back on. Finish that sentiment, please.
Okay. If I do end up haunting you guys, it's only going to be in the funnest way possible. I promise.
Only going to be shortcuts. That's it.
That's
We
right.
won't have any idea what the hell you're talking about. But you're going to keep sending us those messages anyway.
One will be CMIH. And you'll be like, oh, we have no idea. And finally, you'll take it to scholars. And finally, someone will crack the code. It might be a dude who has a beautiful mind. It could be Russell Crowe. And he is going to crack the code and he's going to say, oh, this means CMIH, clear my internet history. Oh, CIA. I think there might be a P on the end. It might be CMIHP. Clear my internet history, please.
And by the time we figure it out, we will have already published your internet history for the world to see. Oh, oops. We shouldn't have done that. He didn't want us to do that.
Yeah, we're calling the published. Stop the presses. Tony didn't want. Oh, sorry. We're like, Russell Crowe, do you have any pull to get this thing stopped? And he's like, no.
Oh, well, you know, when you, Susie, do you use any keyboard shortcuts that are prominent in your life?
I love keyboard shortcuts. Yeah. I mean, Control Z, Control C, Control V, Control X, Control Alt Delete, of course, Control Shift N in Google is incognito.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's one of my
You
favorites.
won't have to haunt us now.
You're right.
No, Tone, Control Shift N, boy, right there. It'll solve your problems and solve ours too. And we won't have to bother Russell Crowe.
He'll be happy.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, Russell.
You brought up Control Alt Delete. I forgot about that. That's got to be the first shortcut every one of us learned.
Yes.
I
That's
just
old
used it
school.
because Chrome was being weird. So I Control Alt deleted it and I went in there and shut it all down and started it over again. So
I think that the first of many times that I felt like a hacker is when I learned Control Alt Delete. It's like, this
And
gets
the
me
world
into the
opens to
mainframe. Yeah.
it's war games time.
Would you like to play a game? What you didn't understand was that later in the history of Windows on PC is that later Control Alt Delete would become less of a hack and a little bit more of a staple or a required user knowledge to run.
We're all hackers now.
Right.
Watson doesn't have that problem because he's an Apple guy. So
Yeah, we don't even have an equivalent really of Control Alt Delete, and that kind of makes me sad. Did you guys ever be in an online video game on your computer or in a chat room or something, and everyone said like, "Hey, do you want to see something really cool? Hold down Alt and push F4." Did you ever have anybody do that to you?
I don't think I've run in those circles. What does it do?
Good. Alt F4 is a shortcut that closes the current window that's open.
Oh, right. Yeah, I knew that.
And so somebody will say that in the chat room, and then like 10 people will just drop out of the chat room. It's so
That's
good.
funny.
Or like in an online game like World of Warcraft or something, it's like you're in the middle of a battle and then Everyone's just leaving. That's pretty funny.
Oh my
pretty
gosh.
Yeah, we were having a gigantic fight, like an epic battle, and it was very early in World of Warcraft, and I was with I think it was like 6 other people, and we were all just battling these guys, and just fighting the computer, of course. And somebody's like, quick. And it was somebody we trusted, one of the heads of the guild. And they were like, quick, everybody hit Control F4.
Oh, no.
I did not do it because I was like, oh, wait, what? Control. Let's see. And then I saw boop, 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 boop. So-and-so's went offline.
Were they trolling or did they misspeak?
Oh, no, they were just being as funny as possible. Yeah, they were.
That's awesome.
They were like, this is going to be great. Now, that trick does not work a second time.
Well, part of the reason why I wanted to bring this review today was because I'm kind of the IT guy, just the default IT guy around my office. And people are always coming and especially if anyone that has a Mac, but they're not used to having a Mac computer, they'll come and ask me how to do something. And every time it involves a shortcut of some kind to tell them how to do something because I use shortcuts all the time. Like the command tab, or the control tab, whatever, that brings up all your stuff. There's equivalent of that in Windows, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the Windows tab.
Yeah, Windows tab. So like I always do that to get around. And so every time somebody would be like, okay, wait, what did you just do? And I'm like, oh, well, I just command tabbed over to your other. And they're like, I don't know what's going on. So I found I'm trying to help them, but I'm like, doing these shortcuts is not helping them at all. I'm really messing up their world, their whole idea of computers. They're like, wait, shortcuts are in the computer? And it's not very helpful. And so I was wondering, do I need to change my teaching method to not involve shortcuts? Or does the rest of the world just need to listen to this review and understand shortcuts are where it's at and get on board? You know what, though?
I just feel like we don't use the shortcuts anymore. Like they're making it, since they're making it so crossover between, like you can't use a shortcut on a mobile device. Right, there is no equivalent for that. And most people are on mobile devices or tablets, and very few people are actually really schooled in how to use a computer. And if they do, they just know what they need to know. And then, but it's not, it's just not as prevalent anymore.
That's true.
I don't like that either. I really enjoy getting my hands in the guts of the computer, and they make it really hard to do that now. So.
That's always been one of my big selling points for Apple, for PC versus Apple, is because and Android versus Apple, I want to be able to get inside that thing and manipulate it.
Yeah,
like a battle mech. It's like a battle mech. Just really get into it and manipulate it and maneuver it
and shoot everything.
If I ever found a computer program that made me, or an operating system that made me feel like a battle mech when I was in there, that would be so amazing. Maybe that's what Linux is.
I was just going to say, I think I hear about 1 million people yelling Linux at us right now.
Yeah.
I've been telling you, that's exactly what Linux is.
It's the battle mech. Well, I will say this, Wopsle. I think that your style needs to change because when you teach people to use the GUI, like that's, they're going to remember it a lot better, because telling me, these 3 random keys are going to do X. Well, I'm not going to remember that as easily as I'm going to remember a menu that says, blah, blah, blah. So
now I am fine with the shortcuts. Like I enjoy using shortcuts, but I do agree with you, Tony, in that they are, if they know how to get into one spot and what they need to do is accomplishable in that one spot, put it there. Show them how to do it there, because they already know how to get there. Maybe,
but then, and here we can finish with this, at the crux of a shortcut isn't necessarily ease, although sometimes it is. I'd say it's more important is time, right? A shortcut's saving you time.
Right.
And I think I'm just trying to save them time. Now, if this is a function they do once a week or once a month, well, it's probably not worth saving them that time, but that's just where I
versus the time it took you to drill it into their head.
Listen, just 1 hour and you'll understand this shortcut.
Now there are some language changes that shortcuts that have come up, like totes, the word totes. That is saving some time.
Totes.
Yeah, no, I love language shortcuts. Yeah, totes. But then with totes, then we made it totes my goats. And I think that's like, now we're adding more. So we're not actually saving any time.
Totes adorbs. I mean,
totes
there's lots of times saved there.
Totally adorable. Oh my goodness. 7 syllables down to 2. I'm going to take a nap.
I'm going to take up knitting all of a sudden now.
Right.
Make all kinds of things that are totes adorbs with my new knitting skill. Well, let's talk before we finish this review. Let's talk real quick about like physical shortcuts. I feel like they used to be more prevalent. Like growing up, like walking around town in Prague, you knew every little shortcut, every alley you could take. You knew whose back fence was open, so you could cut through there. Kind of a Ferris Bueller situation. I don't know that kids know about shortcuts anymore. Are they still a thing in our world?
Well, let me tell you, I live on a lot that is easily shortcuttable. And people shortcut across my backyard, and I hate it. And so now I hate it so much. And so now I'm thinking back to all of the shortcuts I took through people's yards, and I sort of feel bad. Did they care? And they just knew I was a kid, so they didn't say anything to me? Or was it different back then? Were they like, oh, that kid's using my yard. That's so cute. Or were they like, get off my dang lawn?
What are you doing?
Well, I think it does matter who's taking the shortcut, because if it is
really
a sprightly little 12-year-old boy kind of skipping through your yard, you're like, oh, somebody's taking a shortcut. If Tone comes walking through your yard, you're like, there's a strange bearded man skipping his fat self through my yard. This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
He's got a fun dip, and that is making the situation worse.
He is eating the fun dip while skipping. It's all over him.
It's getting in his beard.
It's in his beard.
He's halfway across now. Should I just let him go?
He's got this powdery pink beard from all the fun dips spilling down.
Do you think he'd share it with
through
me?
My yard.
As payment?
He did not offer me any fun dip.
Hey, give us a fun dip.
It's mine now. It's mine now. I keep it.
Drop that fun dip and get on out of here.
Get out of my yard, but leave the fun dip.
You get on now. Get on. Go get.
Get.
Leave the fun dip right there.
The fun dip. The fun dip.
Yeah, that's per the usual. My accent there kind of took a turn like it usually does.
I'll get on out.
We are not good at shortcuts. No.
Well, I think physical shortcuts. I guess we need to stop it, unless we pay the fun dip tax. So we are no longer allowed. All right, well, let's shortcut this review and go ahead and skip to our ratings of shortcuts. So, Shishi, let's start off with you. What do you rate shortcuts?
I rate shortcuts Alt-Tab.
Yeah.
Alt-Tab.
Alt-Tab.
That's perfect. That's a great shortcut. Yeah.
That's pretty good, by the way.
Yeah. We're all going to rate it. Just all these shortcuts that people need to know. Alt-Tab. All right, Tone, what do you rate shortcuts?
Well, I had one in mind that was a very obvious choice. And then recent things have come to light and have altered my. So now I have a combo platter going. I rate shortcuts Control Alt Fun Dip. Control Alt Fun Dip.
All right.
Oh, I need one of those shortcuts.
Yeah, that's going to be our first T-shirt. Our first merch is going to say Control Alt
Fun Dip. Oh my gosh! Let's get started on that.
Let's do it.
Well, my rating is going to be Control C, Control V, Control Alt Fun Dip. Copied and pasted it. Because it's so good. I got to reiterate it.
Copy and paste it.
Oh, man, that was great.
That's a good review, Wapsel. Good topic. Good topic.
Well, yeah. It helped a lot of people. I know that.
So many people got help. Oh, by the way, I made I got to interject real quick. I made a promise last week that this week I would have a new desk. I would have my algorithm on point, and I would have ownership of the domain www.darkweb.farts. And I do not have any of those things currently at tip-top shape.
You know, I just typed in dark web parts on the computer just to see, just to check.
I promise at some point it will redirect to Kick the Cool.
But right now, I don't know if we're just going to become a show where we just Google things and talk about them. But right now, if you Google darkweb.farts, it does bring up a YouTube video with the title, What If a Fart Lasted Forever?
Oh, okay.
So instead,
someone made a video about that.
Yeah. And so instead of it redirecting to kick.cool, I think it should be dedicated to that question.
Yes.
And it's kind of a little side project that we all agreed to go in on.
That's right. We'll definitely put a link on our website and on our Facebook page to darkweb.farts, which will talk about what if a fart lasted forever. What I like about this question is it's not what if a fart lasted for your lifetime.
Right.
Oh, good point.
This will not interrupt this fart.
This is a different level.
I was going to incorporate your after death finger strength somehow with the after death farting.
And the genie is like, oh, I thought you said after death sphincter strength.
No one has ever said those words in that particular order on a podcast or elsewhere. Okay, well, Shishi, what do you have to review for us today?
So, I was thinking about, we do a lot of bathroom humor on here, and sometimes I want to say, curse words, and we're trying to keep it cleanish, so we don't really cuss a lot. And I wonder if we can even do this topic without saying anything bad, because I want to review cussing or cursing or however you words.
You've come to the right place.
Yes, you have. Yes, the forefront of the cursing world. You have found it.
So I know that the three of us have varying habits when it comes to curse words and using that in our daily vernacular. So, Tone, why don't you give me a little overview of how you feel about curse words in your daily life?
What I like is the delineation of what is a bad word and what is not a bad word. And what's cool is it's a line that moves, is very fluid. You never know where that line is actually going to fall, because when we were growing up, not only could we not say the F word or the D word or the S word or the C word or the, all those words, we could not say the word fart.
Yeah, it kind of backfired on you, didn't it, Mom?
Right.
Now it's the title of our podcast, so deal with that.
That's right.
Fart the cool.
Fart the cool.
That's our new name.
Kick the farts.
Fart the farts.
Fart the farts through the uprights. That way, okay, there's our second t-shirt.
Fart the farts.
Fart the farts through the uprights. So stupid. Stupid.
And this is all our mother's fault. This is all
your
mom's
fault, Mother.
That's right.
It's all your fault. Well, okay. So, Tony, what were you saying before we went off on our little shortcut there?
I was talking about the line of, what's acceptable and how it's always changing. But I really wanted to throw out too that, kind of like a kid, that is raised in a very strict home sometimes rebels against that raising and goes in the opposite direction and really becomes a party animal. I became, because of my upbringing, and I wasn't even allowed to say the word fart. I became a little bit the other way. And in my 20s, I would say I was a craftsman of cussing. I took it to another level. I honed my skill at every opportunity.
I kind of fall between you guys. I cussed a lot when I was in my 20s. I didn't cuss for a very long time when I had my kids, all, small. They were all small, and I did not cuss around them at all. I didn't even say the D word or the S word around them very often. So,
Right.
But as I get older, as I got, like when they were started to get older and start being interested in that kind of thing, they would be like, can I say this word? Can I say this word? Or they would say, I've got a joke, but it has a bad word in it. And I would let them, as long as it made me laugh, I would let them say it.
But if you don't laugh, they're grounded. Like the stakes are high.
Right. But
You
if
better
I
bring it.
laugh, you never knew if it was going to make me laugh or not.
I love the gamification of cuss words. That's
If
brilliant.
it was funny enough, I let it go. I laughed and it was funny and we moved on. Yeah.
You look him in the eyes and you say, is it funny? No. Are you going to bring it? Oh, then go ahead.
And then you don't laugh and you say you're grounded, and they're like, for saying that one cuss word, you're like, no, that joke was so unfunny. You are now grounded.
Yeah.
Go to your room and think about what you've done.
I do like a well-placed cuss word. I think that it adds something to things sometimes. And
It doesn't have to be what we would consider a cuss word in order for it to be something unsavory that you don't want to say in front of children. There's no way I would say the word D-bag, the real full word, in front of Wopsle's kids. That would be gross. That'd be so gross.
You know what, though? I would say it in front of, I wouldn't say things in front of Wopsle's kids that I would say in front of other kids, because I know how he feels about that.
My kids usually don't earn the right to be called a D-bag, but whereas other kids do, right?
No.
So,
Well, I'm not saying I'm going to tell them they're D-bags.
I thought you meant you might call kids. You might call kids that as they're walking, shortcutting through your yard. You're yelling out at them.
Yes.
Get out of my yard, D-bag.
If they were to turn around and make me laugh, I would sweep the way clean for them.
Get out of my yard, D-bag.
Get out of my yard, D-bag.
That
You
little
effing
kid would haul
D-bags.
ass.
Don't think I haven't done similar things. But it's usually grown people.
So they can handle it.
Mm-hmm.
They're used to being called that, so they're just
Yeah, if they're doing that, and they're probably used to being called that because that's their MO.
Right.
Every day they're doing something.
Every single time I've ever been called a D-bag while traipsing across someone's backyard, I answer to it. I say, what? Yes.
You rang?
It's because of high school. So I would just hear it in the hallway. It would be
because you attended high school.
Yeah, because I attended high school.
But you were most popular or something.
Oh, no, I was not most popular. I did not play football. Hello.
Right.
Most talented.
You got one of the two nerdy ones, most talented or most likely to succeed.
Yes. Yeah. Here, nerds, we'll throw you some scraps. I will say this. I have to put a little, since we're on that topic, I have to put a little note. Last week, we talked about senior superlatives, and we talked about the fact that my picture of when me and my girlfriend Christy, ex-girlfriend Christy, won most talented and got our pictures taken together. I went and got that picture off of classmates.com today. I am smiling ear to ear.
I remembered that. I think that was a grimace because she had just whispered D-bag under her breath at you.
You were smiling ear to ear because she had just muttered, I can't believe I have to take a picture with this D-bag. And that brought you all the joy. Made you so happy. Because how is her smile in that picture? I bet it's not quite as peachy as yours.
If I remember her, she was not as smiley as you were.
Shout out to Christy. She had a great smile, but she had this way of kind of saving it. So she would give you half. She'd give you half, a quarter, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you just kind of had the vibe of, you know what? I'll save a little bit for myself.
I like that. But she was more reserved. But she was a beautiful girl and very sweet.
She was so awesome.
Okay. Well, I think we spent enough time on that topic. So, Tone, do you feel like you can give me a good, honest rating based on your algorithm to helping people for curse words?
Let me think about this for a minute.
While you're thinking, let me also say that you did not give me the algorithm like you promised. So I had to write my own. So in your face, this one is the most helpful review.
I have to redo my algorithm. We're in a competition now.
The way that you said it sounded like you just like wrote it out like on notebook paper. I'm not sure that you just jotted it down.
I wrote it. Algorithm. Is that spelled with a Y or an
Mr.
I?
Gorhythm.
You're grounded. You get to wear the dice cap now. Okay. I rate cuss words.
Whoa!
Wow, that hurt my ears.
Wowzers.
Wapsel, give me a rating for curse words, if you dare.
Well, it seems obvious after all this time. If I'm going to rate cuss words, I've got to go with
Oh, dang. Wow. That one almost made me cuss in response.
I have never in my life been so offended.
I can't believe this. We're gonna have to issue an apology, retract this. I don't know, something.
Well, wait till you hear my rating. Because my rating is goddamn.
Wow.
So,
whoa. Right? Cool it. What are you so mad about? Take a breath. You need a minute? Let's stop the podcast.
Listen, we're just leaving it all on the field. We're just leaving it all out there on the field.
Leaving it all out there.
I'm sitting on my field curb by myself. Watching you guys.
My Seaside field curb. We have so many t-shirt ideas from this episode.
T-shirt ideas.
Oh, man.
Just sitting on my Seaside field curb. Sherry, hey, both of you guys, y'all brought some heat there. Are you guys okay to continue?
I think so.
It's just a day in my life, man. It's a day in my life.
This is how I live. Hey, if the shoe fits, I want you to wear it and wear it good.
Day in the life of America's big sister right there. Yep.
All right. Well, thanks for that review, Shishi. So many people were helped. And I know, see, here's the thing. I have several computers. I have wirelessly through the internet connected with NORAD. Mm-hmm. I have a couple of scientists on retainer, and I have developed the algorithm as it is known across the internet, the algorithm. What's great is you then created your algorithm. It's on the back of a receipt, and there's a piece of gum stuck in the middle.
That's part of the algorithm.
And it's better than mine.
Well, it's because you have all those things, but you don't have a desk. So you still don't have a desk.
Mm-hmm. So defeated. That's, yeah. Well, guys, I say let's finish up in a very strange way. we're gonna do something a little different today. I have heard a rumor.
Okay.
My one of my best friends told me that we should check this out, and I have not checked it out yet. I thought we could explore it together. So what I'm gonna review today is Garth Brooks himself, and part of this review, I've been told, needs to include Garth Brooks' Instagram page.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So let's start off by all going to Garth Brooks' Instagram page, and Wopsle, just look around.
While we're looking at Instagram, I do have a post I want to say something about, but I was remembering a time whenever one of y'all went to a concert. I think it might have been Guns N' Roses. So, Tony, that might have been you when you went to that Guns N' Roses concert. And you came home and you talked for a long time about how there was this guy sitting behind you that looked just like Garth. Do you remember this story?
I have absolutely no recollection of that story.
I think it was just someone in our family went to a concert and there was somebody that looked just like Garth behind him. And I was like, okay. And they were like, and it was so cool. And so they were trying to take a picture with him and all this stuff. And I was like, I mean, that's kind of cool, but like, was it just like a doppelganger or what? I couldn't figure out why someone was leaning into this so much because, I mean, Garth Brooks, he's a cool looking dude, but like, it wasn't that notable. But later I found out they were talking about Garth Algar. Is who they had somebody by the concert that looked just like Garth Algar. And I was like, okay, now we're on to something.
Yes.
Like, that is very notable. But the whole time picturing Garth Brooks in that story, it was not near as good.
Right.
Now, did he just say Garth or did he say Garth Brooks?
Just Garth. But for me, that's the first Garth I went to, I'm ashamed to say.
I'm sure it was like the early 90s. So.
Yeah, definitely.
Prime Garth time.
Now, I will say this. I did go actually to a Garth Brooks concert for his album, the tour for the album Fresh Horses. And it was a beautiful show. It actually starts off with a piano. And so on the stage, it was a 360 stage, right? So, so anyway, it starts, the lights come onto a figure with a cowboy hat playing the piano. Everybody freaks out, and it comes to the crescendo of the piano part. There's a big cursive G in purple on the white piano.
Yeah, okay.
And then when the singing kicks in is when the circle in the top part of the G swirls open and Garth Brooks comes lifting up out of the piano and plays his arms out and starts singing, and everybody loses their minds. It was amazing. The piano opened up. Garth shows are known for him doing crazy antics. And so I was sitting there, I was watching it, and during Friends in Low Places, at one point, Garth ran around the stage so fast, and then he was kind of gone, and everybody's like, where's he at? And somebody said, look, and I turned around and there was Garth, and the spotlight shone on him. So yeah, it was me that told you that story, I think.
But it was at a Garth Brooks show, and Garth Brooks was behind you.
He was behind me.
Like a David S. Pumpkin situation, just like waiting to creep up behind you. I can see Garth doing that totally.
A little trivia. Does anyone know what Garth Brooks' first name is?
I do.
Stacy.
Oh,
nope.
Wish.
Even that's a normal name.
Yeah, that's a real
Not
name.
the one that he has.
Not an imaginary
Claire.
name.
No, you would have to like go into like deep into the D&D player's handbook to find a name to rival Garth Brooks' first name, which is Troyle.
You would have to hit
I
random.
remember that.
You would have to hit random on a letter generator.
Yes. You would have to accidentally have your cat walk across your keyboard.
Yeah.
And type in the letters for Troyle.
Troyle.
Troyl.
L-E.
L-E. So I'm wondering
Troyle.
why did whoever named him, I'm assuming his mother, who knows, but why did she bother to even put the Y in there? Because we just say troll. right? Troll Garth.
Troll Brooks.
Troll.
Well, you say his mother named him. I kind of assumed it was like a radio contest that his parents put it out there for people to vote on, you know?
That was some dad thing that they did.
Yeah, like a real
was
Bodie McBoatface kind of deal when they crowdsource his name. And
yeah, he was like, hey, honey, I named our kid. And she was like, Troyle Senior, why did you do that?
Troyle,
told you that name, guys, with you.
Troyle, we were going to break the curse. What are you doing?
the mom, you know, like they're like, here, you want to hold your baby? And she's like, you know, yes, I want to hold my baby for the first time. And they're like, here you go. Here's Troyle. And she's like, what? And they're like, and then the dad's like, well, you know my buddy Doyle. And then I got my buddy Troy. And I thought, you know, hey, so
I made a promise to them both.
I promised them we was drunk, and I promised them. I said, Doyle, Troy, you got it, buddy.
I love you guys.
Shotgun a beer. Here we go.
I am afraid that is the true story right there. Like, that sounds so plausible.
Yeah.
Good job. You figured it out.
I didn't make a joke. I just explained what happened.
You figured
When you guys
it
go
out.
ahead, I'm just adding that story to Wikipedia real quick to make it official. So all right, there we go. It's canon now. So all right.
Well, so I had really high hopes for the Instagram thing, and now I'm realizing how much Instagram sucks because
it sucks.
Now, I did scroll down and I found a couple of gems. You have to scroll down pretty far, but there is a picture of Garth wearing an Owasso baseball hoodie, and he has a flat top haircut that I've never seen him rocking before. And he's got his facial hair in such a manner that it looks like he prepared his whole scene on his head, his whole head scene for this baseball hoodie. He was like, if I'm going to wear a baseball hoodie, my head needs to look like this.
Okay.
He looks so weird. He looks like Coach Troyle.
I see it. I'm on there. That is Coach Troyle.
Wopsle, what do you rate Garth Brooks?
I go first. I get to steal your rating. He's Mo Betta. He's Mo Betta every single day since the day he was born. Mo Betta.
Shishi, what do you rate Garth Brooks?
I got 1 star. 1 star.
Yeah, okay.
Wow.
That's surprising.
I love you, Garth. 1 star can be good, too. You don't know what the limit is. So.
Okay, good point. Valid point, as always. I'm going to rate Garth Brooks 2 taps on the shoulder from behind you. Hey, it's me.
Hey, to bring this back full circle, I was going to say when he was looking like Chris Gaines, he did look, his face and outfit looked a little bit like David Blaine.
Yeah.
Do you think that's why he's appearing behind people and tapping them on the shoulder?
Oh my God.
He actually, that's the persona, more than Coach Troyle, more than Garth Brooks, and more than Chris Gaines. He wants to be Christopher Blaine's and
Like Chris Blaine.
he's trying to be a magician actually at his core.
Well, he did appear up through the piano that was playing. How did he do that?
Right. It's Chris Blaine's.
Chris Blaine's on him.
Oh, gosh.
All right. Oh, Wopsle, take us out. Tell the crowd what they need to hear.
Yeah, well, we sure do like doing this podcast weekly, and we hope we can do it a whole lot and do it often. So if you would just keep on telling your friends about it. I don't know if anyone told Butterball last week to listen, but I hope that they did. And we would just still love to hear from you. So reach out to us. You can email us at reviews@kick.cool. We would love to review something that's on your mind in order to help the most people. let us know how to help you directly. We could do that. Also, of course, Facebook, Instagram. You can go follow Garth and us on there. We just love to see you online somewhere.
Yeah, definitely. Don't forget our YouTube channel. There's all kinds of content there. Go subscribe to that, please, and leave comments and likes on the videos. It really makes things, it improves our channel. So we also want to give a huge thank you to the band Bugs, Bugs, for letting us use the song Reviews as our theme song from their album Self-Help. Please go like their Facebook page, tell them how much you like Kick the Cool, and go buy their music.
Thank you, Bugs.
Thanks, Bugs.
Thanks, Bugs. Thanks for listening.
All right, guys. Well, that was episode 18. We really appreciate you listening, and tell your friends. And until next week, love you. Bye. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
We love you. Bye.
Love you so much.
We love you.